Nahum, the prophet Nahum, and we're going to go looking for the original format. Now, when I say that, I already got it started here, and I mean, I really got it going. I'm trying to cut these videos down more than 2 hours, so I know this, I got it as part 1, but I'm hoping to get through quicker because I've already went through and tried to divide up the sentences, found this ending of them, then I went through it again, and I've kind of got them separated a little bit. Now, it says the Oracle of Nineveh. Now here the thing is, our Creator told us that anything like an oracle is a divination, and you do not, you're supposed to kill those in the promised land, those that are doing that. So right off the bat, this word shouldn't be in here. Now Nineveh, I've showed you before where that is at. So let me show you again by pulling up here and going to here and showing you that it's, look, Nineveh is, whoops, let me get the red color here, and it's way up here. Okay, so the thing here is that's where they say Nineveh is. Now Jerusalem is down here, you can see it right here, and they'd have to go like this, across the river somehow, and then come back up and go up here and come all the way over here to get to there. Okay, now that is about as quick as you can get according to the Bible, because they said that they were crossing over here to get to Babylon down here. But the problem with Babylon being there, or this river, it is a huge river. I don't think it happened that way. I think the path had to go all the way up and around and come back through here to get to where Daniel was at. For the captives to be in Babylon. Now, if I get rid of this, and now you know that this place, how far it is, this is just ridiculous, okay? This word should never be here. Vision, this should be, because it's our Creator, it should always be recognized as His prophecy going to be here. But if you do notice, we have 3 here and we have 3 here, and this one is just stuck out by itself. Okay. Now, I would go over this letter L, but that's the Hebrew word that's used in the text. Hey, I got a new thing here. Let's do that. This program, I know it's not very good yet. It's only a 12. I got it on a real old screen, but I finally got a web camera that gets me at least this good. Okay. And what I want to do is show you that when you do the capital letter here, see it over here, this is L, and then it's used this way this many times. This is the New American Standard Concordance, and you can see that a God is used 204 times. Now, what's unique about this is that actually when they're comparing a lot of the text that I've done, especially in Psalms, this word is referring to talking about a pagan's God to their God, this type of comparing type of thing. They're using the word God or the title God. It's not so much the same title as meaning for our Creator, but the object is used as for our Creator, or even a temple god. Okay, but here YV is an avenging and wrathful. YV takes vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserves his wrath for his enemies. Notice how it's separated here, and it comes down to YV is slow to anger and great in power. Well, we kind of know that, so I don't know if this is actually needed. Okay. Now, what I want to do though is I want to highlight that say like that. And YV will by no means leave them unpunished. See, they had to add the word guilty, leave the guilty. But who's guilty? I would still get rid of the words guilty here. By no means he would leave, and I'm just going to put them because I've kind of went through the text a little bit and kind of know what's coming up. In a whirlwind and a storm is his way, and clouds are the dust beneath his feet. Well, we know that this is just bullshit, so that doesn't need to be put in the text. He rebuked the sea and makes it dry. He dried up. He didn't really dry up the river. This is the Jordan River, so this wouldn't be here. He didn't rebuke it. He caused the Red Sea. We need to have this in here to know what we're talking about. The Red Sea, and made it dry. And made the land dry. Now, for you who don't know what Hebrews do when they're talking, the land is the surface, okay? That's the description of land. Ground is underneath the surface, okay? So it's very important to get those right and to use the words correctly. That's why I'm using the word land. That's what they walked on. He parted the sea. Parted. We get rid of this word. He parted the Red Sea and made the land dry. He dried up all the rivers. Well, he didn't do that, but what we're finding here is that he parted the Jordan River. I would put Jordan here to be, we do want to, Jordan River. We want to be truthful when we're speaking and everybody know what rivers we're talking about. He parted the Jordan River. I guess I'd have to put also if it's going to stay in a 3-verse, okay? But it still would need and made the land dry. So we might have to make that down here as a 4-verse. Bashan and Carmel wither. Now, this happens to be a mountain, okay? This is Mount Carmel. Mountain Carmel. So, and Bashan, that is on the flat, and that was actually a people. It wasn't, this is not, let me see here what they have here and show you here. See, it's east of the Jordan River, a smooth region. It was actually a mount, but the object is that this is no way that you can wither, okay? So now that you know it can't wither and the blossom of Lebanon can wither, we know that they're trying to tie those two together, so that's just not truthful. Mountains quake because of him and the hills dissolve. Well, the hills don't dissolve and the mountains just don't quake because of him, okay? So here, this just seems to be not true, okay? Because there are no mountains in Israel, so the thing here is we have to understand quake because of him in the hills. So that text is gone, and a lot of it's going to disappear here. Indeed, the earth is upheaved by his presence, and the world and all inhabitants in it. No. And the word inhabitants would be races, okay? But that's not true. Who can stand before his indignation? Who can endure his anger? I would get rid of this. Who can endure his anger? Who can stand before his indignation? His wrath is poured out like fire, and the rocks are broken up by him. Okay, now this we know is just not true. Okay, so now we have a choice between these three. Now we have three. Okay. YV is good, a stronghold in day of troubles, and he knows those who take refuge in him. Okay, that's pretty good. But with an overflowing flood, he makes a complete end of its sight. Absolutely nonsense. And pursue his enemies into darkness. He doesn't go around pursuing his enemies. In fact, it's going to get really weird here pretty soon. Whatever you devise against YV, he makes it complete end of it. Now, can you plan against our Creator anything? This is absolutely stupid. Okay, so this is just out. Whatever they devised against his, he will make complete end of it. Yes, I could change that. I guess I could change this to his and be more truthful, because you can't plan against our Creator. So let's see how this works out. Whatever they devise against his, he will make a complete end of it. I guess we can hang in there with that verse then. I mean, it can be corrected to like this. The distress will not rise up twice. Okay, I don't see this tied to anything. That's why I have it highlighted. When I read it, it was kind of like, how can I do anything with that? And that was just so odd to be stuck in the middle. Now, like tangled thorns, and like those who are drunken with their drink, they are consumed as stubble and are completely withered. Now, let's see here. We have two verses here, 3 verses here, 3 verses here, 3 verses here, 3 verses, 3 verses, and 3 verses at the top. So right now, we know that this can be gone. And now let's see, we're getting to 3 verse, 3 verse, 3 verse, although that's a odd 3 verse. Okay, but there's a 2 verse here. Okay, now when I was reading this was the sentence that drunk. There's no sense of actually trying to tie that with either one of these. They are consumed as stubble. They are tangled thorns and will be consumed as stubble. And will be okay. will be consumed. Let's see what the word stubble has to do here. Okay, because I'm in verse 10. Stubble. Straw or shaft. Okay. Now, they are consumed like. Let's just add like here. Like stubble. And that way they aren't completely withered. They don't, that isn't it. They are consumed. So it's like fire. It's going to say here, it's tied to fire way up here. Okay. From you have gone forth one who plotted evil against YV, a wicked counselor. Well, this we know, doesn't make sense just throwing those two words in there. And here we're going to have to use his again. From you has gone forth one who plotted evil against his. From you has gone forth I'm thinking who could this be and who goes forth? It would be a king sending his commander to do something. So from you has gone forth one for your plotted evil against his. For your, so we got that. We'll take this, stick it up here, and then we'll have to get rid of this. From you have gone forth, from you has gone forth one for your plotted evil against his. Okay, we got something now. Okay, whoops. Thus says YV, although they are full strength, and likewise many, they will be cut off and pass away. Now, let me see, because this is, I'm trying to see why this is being here. Okay, I want to go up here to look to see if this starts out. Okay, see, he hasn't started the vision. Okay, so what he's doing is he's just talking right now, and now is this what he's been sent to say? Although they are at full. Now let's see, because I hate when they add words and they don't go in correct, and I wanted to see what the word full was when I got to it. This is verse 12. Full. Oops. This is new, so it's going to take a little bit. Even though it's black and white, it's at least you just don't get to see my head turned all the time anymore. I do need to update the screen because this is only a 1280 by 800, and the camera's got real good resolution. So what word would we use besides full? They are prepared. If you're sending them, they are prepared. Okay, let's use the word prepared. Full. They are prepared. They are prepared. Although they are prepared, and likewise many. They will be cut off. They will be cut off and pass, and this will pass away. Okay, now when I was doing this, I was trying to think of all the text that's here, that what was, now the Assyrians attacked them, and Aram attacked to start stealing some land from the kingdom of Israel, and that it was the Armenians coming down, and that was just above them. And then the next step was Assyria come down, and over the years they took the whole kingdom away. So this, if they're talking there are many, and they'll be cut off and pass away. I don't understand pass away. They will be removed. They will not be cut off, they will be removed. Removed is because if you can't cut them off, they will be killed or removed. So let me do removed and then put killed, just as a note for myself, which one is going to be correct when we read the rest of it. And likewise many, they will be removed and pass away. Okay, going to have to work on that as we go through more here. Although I have afflicted you, I will afflict you no longer. This means our Creator has been causing them problems, such as, and he would have done it through famine, because in his meeting room with him, he has a bowl of wheat on the table, and it's a golden bowl, and it's to represent that is his promise that as long as you're onto him, you'll have plenty of food, is what it represents. You'll always have bread, which means a good harvest, plenty of food. I have afflicted you and will afflict you no longer. Now I'll break his yoke from upon you and tear off your shackles. Shackles and bars. Bars would be, bars is more or less a jail in your shackles. Now I know then we don't need this. Now I'll break, whoops, it would have been there, whoever this is. This was changed to there. Okay. There are bars upon you and tear. Well, I guess it's, they want to say yoke of bar, but their yoke is, maybe it's bars that needs to be gone. Now I'll break their yoke. From you, and tear off your shackles. And this would be I. Whoops. I would have to be. And that would be I have, or I will. No, I have issued, so it's coming. I have issued a command concerning you. We don't know who you is. We don't know if it's the kingdom of Israel or the kingdom of Judah right now. And your name will no longer be perpetrated. There's got to be a better word than that. You can see it's only been used once. Sown will no longer be sown among kingdoms. Let me see what back here. Let me see what happens in this. I don't really care too many of them. Your name will no longer be. If you would mention like the kingdom of Israel or the kingdom of Judah, they would be fearing you, like at David's time, who could go and conquer you. Or is this word being might? Your name will no longer be mighty. I like the word mighty. Your name will no longer be sown among them. Your name will no longer be mighty. I like that. Okay. I will cut off idol. Cut off. Okay. Your idols. Okay, now I know it's the kingdom of Israel or the kingdom of Judah. And we're not just talking little things here. Your idols and its image. I will cut off your idols. Now, what they were doing was making little statues of the female goddess and praising her. And so this kind of goes with what Jeremiah did when he talked about the Queen of Heaven and how they responded. And this was talking about Judah at the time. They were responding, well, our kings are doing this, and we aren't having no famines anymore. We have plenty to eat, and our Creator isn't answering us, so we're changing. And this is, I will cut off your idols and its images, and its image from not the house, from your, and they're not really house, it's your dwelling. From your dwelling. I'll cut off your idols and its image from your dwellings. I will cut off your idols. I will. Now, this would, you can't kill an idol, you can only destroy it. I will destroy your idols. That means the conquerors are going to come in, are just going to break everything up, not give a care unless it's made of gold or silver, and then they're going to put it in their pocket. I will destroy your idols and its images from your dwelling, in your dwelling. In, it needs to be in here. In your dwelling. I will prepare your graves. I will prepare your grave, for you are contemptible. I will do, okay, because if it's going to be 2 verse, now I've got to look because I know I have 3 verses all up above here. Do you know what? It's not there. I have to change this back to your yoke. This burden that they're carrying, because now I know that it's about your idols that they're carrying around is what he's talking about. Now I'll break your yoke from you. The things that they're carrying with them, and tear off your shackles, meaning he's going to I'm trying to put this into relationship with what we're just got done editing. I'll destroy your idols and its image in your dwelling. Okay. I gotta hurry through this. I will prepare your grave. Now this is, there's not enough here. Not enough here. Because that could actually go on the end. I'll prepare your grave. Well, no, it's kind of divided, but it's not very well. Anyways, let's go on here. Behold on the mountain the feet of him who brings good news. And this behold would be look for. Look for the runner, not the feet, but runner. Or messenger. Who brings good news would be messenger. Messenger. Whoops. Let me see if I got that right. No, that isn't what I want to do. Okay. Look for the messenger who brings good news, who announces peace for you to celebrate. For you to celebrate, who announces peace. Whoops, it's wrong. I wanted this. For you to celebrate and have a feast. Judah pays your vows, for never again would the wicked pass through you. Okay, now we're talking about the kingdom Judah. So I like making sure that we have this capital or bold, so we aren't talking about the man Judah. And I'm going to keep it a little j because that's when they were no good, and that's what we're talking about. Now we know that this is Assyria, okay? And now, with that news, I have to go all the way back up here. The Oracle of Babylon. That's the correct answer there. I would have to say prophecy, because that's what our Creator is doing right now. He's prophesying what's going to, the prophecy, not the oracle, but the prophecy of Babylon. The vision of Numa, and we'll have to put a capital N here because he's a good guy, and I would say that's out. Okay, the prophecy of Babylon. Okay, this a vision from Numa. I'll correct that later. YV is avenging and wrathful. He takes vengeance on his wrath for his enemies. Okay, we don't need this. YV is slow to anger and by no means leave them unpunished. Okay. This almost doesn't sound like it needs to be belong. Who can stand? This almost doesn't sound like that belongs here. Why he's good and strong. This is where the prophecy starts. Here. This is where, are you seeing that? Are you reading it the way I am? I mean, I'm looking for what this is about. The prophecy of Babylon. The vision of Nahum. The vision I'm going to change this to a vision from, and I'm going to have to mean this word needs to be tied to our Creator's vision given to this guy here. Okay, but this text doesn't mean nothing. This text doesn't do anything. 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 That is where it starts. Whatever they devised against his, he will make a complete end of it. Whatever he devised against you, he will make a complete end of it. Oh boy. Whatever he devised with a D. I think I'm finally starting to actually get the this isn't here at all. Against you, whatever he devised against Judah. Okay, now we're getting someplace here. Whatever he devised against Judah, he will make a complete end of it. He will complete it. He will not make, he will complete. He will complete it. He will complete it. I'm trying to see how the word end could be used. He will, whatever he devised against Judah, he will completely end it. He will complete it. Okay, like tangled thorns, they will be consumed like stubble. From you have gone for from you, for from you has gone forth one, for from Babylon, for from Nebuchadnezzar, let's just put Babylon. From Babylon has gone forth one, for their plotted evil against you. Now I am changing a whole lot, and I know that it's looking ridiculous that, look at this doesn't count for anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in yellow, because what happens is sometimes this text ends up getting moved around, but these are really not going to be used in this. Now wait a second. Prophecy, vision, Nahum. Wait a second. If I get rid of that and keep that, I'm trying to think of YV takes vengeance on our adversaries, or took. I'm going to change this to took, explaining. He's explaining before. He's explaining to them that he took vengeance on our adversaries. They were the ones with the gods. They were the ones, okay, on our. So this. Why he took vengeance on our adversaries, and he reserved wrath, and he reserved his wrath for his enemies. Okay, and if you're all of a sudden against our Creator and you're in his promised land, you are his enemy. Why he took vengeance on our adversary, and he reserves wrath for his enemy. Okay. This doesn't need to be, but this stuff here that I added here, this is, no. This is out, so there's no need to correct that. Who can stand before his indignation? Who can endure his anger? He's reminding them yeah, I'm going to get rid of this as well. And then it would go to from here to here to here, yet, I think if I added the word yet here, yet, yet YV is, yet YV, I guess, is, I guess, we get YV is a stronghold. YV is, well, if it's in past tense, it would be YV was a stronghold in our days of trouble. In our days of trouble. This has to be was. He's trying to remind them. I don't know if you're picking up on that or not, but you'll see it when it gets cleaned up a little bit. That he's trying, I see him as making this, this is what happened, this is what our Creator does. Example, now that you know that this is out, and I would clean it up anyway, let's just, and I know I'm not going to use it, let's put it together and see what it looks like right there. Okay, the prophecy of Babylon, a vision from Nahum. YV took vengeance on our adversaries, and he reserves his wrath for his enemies. Who can stand before his indignation? Who can endure his anger? Yet YV was a stronghold in our days. Yet YV was a stronghold for us. Us in our days of trouble. This, that just doesn't need to be done right now. It need to be used. And we know that this is going to be out, so no longer needs to be reading that anymore. This we know is out, so that doesn't need to be read anymore. This might need to get back up in there, so I'll leave that there. Boy, I just got started on this, and this is really some hammering being done on this. It's almost like I can't say it yet that this is almost mine, but I'm using the words, and these are the only words that are actually making sense of a prophecy. The rest is just not there, because this, I mean, you got to say that they had been corrupting the text for more than 2,000 years. And if this is like this, whoops, I guess I only got rid of the word there. I can see if I put this here and say, you'll be like tangled thorns, to be consumed like stubble. Just like that. Now that works. I mean, that's still staying with it. For from Babylon has gone forth one, for their plotted evil against you. Oh, this, yeah. Okay. Ta-da. Ta-da. All right. Now we're getting to the prophecy. Now we're getting to know exactly This isn't Nineveh. This is Babylon. He's telling us, and now he's going to say, um, it's almost like this needs to go someplace else. But this group is so good. Thus says, thus is not. Thus prophesies. Thus prophesied YV. He didn't say. He's thus prophesied YV. Although they are prepared, and likewise many, they will be. You will be killed off. You will be. You will be. And you will be removed. You will be removed. You'll be. Yes, because they were taken into captivity. Because the ones that were left, likewise many. Although they are prepared, and likewise many. I'd have to keep the word so. So you will be removed. So you will be killed and it's actually made captives. So, and likewise with their many. And likewise with their many. Now I can get rid of it. You will be killed and taken away. How are we doing there? And it took a while, but this is the message. Now we're going to have text that has been hidden for so long, 2,000 years, and we're going to actually get the answer here revealed. And we're going to have some really great text here. But this is just the beginning. This is going to probably be a 3-part, and I'm going to take my time and go through it. Now, some of you are going to start saying, look at all this that you've taken out and look at what you're doing. But the object here is this is the start of the text. This is the prophecy, or these are his words that started off. Yet YV was a stronghold for us in our days of trouble. And since this isn't a it's into 2 verses that will be hooked probably into 4, maybe just leave separate. Whatever he devised against Judah, he will complete it. You will be like, and he's telling them what they're going to be like, and then he tells them Babylon has gone forth. He's telling them it's already, wow. Look, there are many prophecies of being told that Babylon is coming. Okay. This one is very unique. This one is said they not only are coming, I don't know how many others really say it like this, that then Babylon shows up at their front door. This is the one saying, and this wouldn't, Nahum, it didn't write this. As far as I know, I would say this is more or less Jeremiah, unless Nahum here was at that time, and we have no proof of. The only proof we've got is the text here. Now, okay. Thus prophesies YV, although they are prepared, and likewise with their many army, you will be killed and taken away. Although I have afflicted you, I will afflict you no longer. Now I'll break your yoke from you and tear off your shackles. Oh, yes. I have issued a command concerning you. Your name will no longer be mighty. Your name will no longer be. Now the word mighty doesn't. I got to change this to yellow. That one might need to be changed. Your name might no longer be great. Okay. Your name will no longer be great. Yes. That needs to be great. I will destroy your idols and its images in your dwelling. Now, let me do this real quick. I want to show you what I'm talking about, just so you now know what's going on here in my little tiny mind here. But I do have to have this prepared. I didn't. Let's see here. See, how come it didn't pop up? Okay, there it did. Let me see. Okay, it's full screen. This is when Jerusalem, this is Malachi 2:11. I've showed this a dozen times. Judah is the kingdom Judah here, married the daughter of a foreign god. Okay, so now we know Judah, kingdom of Judah is all full of corruption. So let me go here to this one and try to point out, just so you know where we're at in the story. I know, I just want to, in case you're just tuning in and you're not a heavy studier and you kind of got 40 years of studying. And I mean, I have put in, 15-hour days for years. So, but the object here is you can see that we're not talking about them. We're talking about this group right here. This group right here is, whoops, not that. I keep forgetting which one does what. Is it this one here that does the square? Yeah. It's this group of kings that it's going to end. Okay. And the warnings were coming out. And what you have to understand is Jeremiah was at this time in here. And then I think they overlapped with Isaiah. Or no, Isaiah was first and then Jeremiah. So the thing here is Malachi 2 has to be from this time period. And I don't think that's really evident when you read that text, that one-liner that I showed you. But the object is now that you're there on that, now let's see, this is Jeremiah. This is why I'm saying this has to almost be Jeremiah. See, he's the one talking about the Queen of Heaven, and here this is very unique. You take a screenshot of this. Am I in there? Let me get out so you can take a screenshot. Yeah, let me get out here for a second. I want you to take a screenshot. Where am I? Is this me right here? Yep, okay. Take a screenshot of that, read that over, this is very important to what we're discussing right now. Okay, you had your chance. Now let me get back to the text, because the text putting it in the situation of what's going on. This is, see that when you read that and the idols are in their dwelling and stuff, I will prepare your grave, for you are contemptible. Now see, this is, you are my enemy. It should be right here. You are my enemy. That relates to the very beginning when he was trying to point out. Now look for their messenger who brings good news, who announces peace for you to celebrate and have peace. That doesn't make any sense. This is two separate. Because this would have to be now. Now look for their messenger who brings it's not good news. He just got done saying this, so it can't be good news. The word good is not the right one. So you can, my little mind is trying to figure out who will bring you who will bring you this news. And this would be like this. He was being prophesied about. I think that's the key word there. Who will bring you this news. Who announces peace if you join them. For you to celebrate and have a feast. Or not needed at all. Judah, pay your vows. That's not true. And for never again will the wicked one pass through you. I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing this. Now look for their messenger who brings you this news, who announces peace. Because this is, I'm trying to read it without this and without this. And how would that, now that I know that this is the correct way, who announces peace. Who announces this? This is just not good. This just can't be there. That can't be there. So let's just get rid of it. For never again will your wicked ones pass through. For never again will your wicked For never again will your evil ones. This has to be evil. When you're against our Creator and you're against His commandments, which means went on to another god, you're evil. You just ain't wicked. That's the difference, how I see the text, because wicked can mean a lot, but evil is flat out not obeying our Creator, and this is His enemy. So never again will these evil ones for never again will their evil be. Okay, I'm seeing this cut, and then this would be the word be. Never again will their evil be. Never again will their evil be. But that's not really true. So I guess because of the word never, and then never, no, they're evil still in Jerusalem. They still don't believe in Jesus. For never again will, see, they are onto the female goddess in Jerusalem. Read their Talmud. 1 hour and 6 minutes. Okay. Gee, and I think there's 4 chapters. Anyways, we are going to have part 2, and but I think we got the idea here what's going on. So let me stop here and continue, and just a click of a button.